Absolute
Radio.
It's Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio, podcast time again. And I'm here with Gareth and... oh, no, it's not Emily. It's Laura Solon this week.
Different.
Yeah, because Emily has
lady.
lost her voice.
And I've got a voice.
And you've got a voice. You've actually found hers. Now, so Laura Solon, because she speaks, got the job.
Yeah. I've never been so proud.
So, of course, it's always this thing. This is the odd thing, Laura, you won't know, is that we do the introduction to the show after we've done the show. So we know what the show was like, but we have to sort of build it up. I think that's the system, isn't it, Gareth?
Yes. And try not to do any give away any punch.
Oh no, we're not going to give any punch.
Or...
Look at me like I was going to give away one of your
or any
punchlines.
spoilers. No,
no spoilers. No spoilers. So yeah, so Laura sat in today. She was great, wasn't she?
She was good.
Oh, good.
Well,
That's
the
a
thing
ringing
is,
endorsement.
there's a terrible sadness about Emily not being here.
Yeah.
But no, Laura's fantastic.
Yes, you're talking as if she's died. She's only got a sore throat. She'll be back.
Well, you were talking as if she was.
I said she could die, but that's true of any one of us before, by next week. Who knows what's round the corner?
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Absolute Radio.
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio, and
Saturday morning.
it is Saturday morning, or as they say in Japan.
Doyobi go go.
Yeah, and first news is I'm not here. I know I always say I'm here with Emily and Gareth, but I'm not here. I'm here with Gareth and Laura this morning.
Hello.
So good morning, Laura.
Good morning.
And yeah, Emily has lost her voice. I saw Emily yesterday, and she said, "I don't think I can do the show." And I thought this is going to be highly impractical, right? She brought in all these semaphore flags and everything, but I said, on radio, ridiculous. So I have got a message. She did send a message. I'm going to read this out. I feel like one of these lawyers standing outside a courtroom after a case. Dear Frank and Gareth, and all our lovely listeners, notice you're already excluded.
Yeah.
Laura, there's a little bit of jealousy going
Tension.
on. Yeah. I can't be with you today as I have eloped with Foxy Bingo. We've gone to start a new life in some bins behind Harrods. I'm sitting at home having lost my voice. It's not even a rasp anymore. It's a Mark E. Smith vocal. We'll let that pass. Mark E. Smith, in case you don't know, is the lead singer of my favourite band. Anyway, hoping the show is an absolute triumph. I don't know if that's a pun or not. Not on triumph, obviously. Well, a triumph overwhelmed by a haunting sense of unbearable loss. Missing you and love you all lots, M. And then there's 3 kisses. So I'm guessing one of those are for you, Laura.
That's nice. We should say it's Laura Solon and not Laura, my wife, because my wife's called Laura.
Oh, yeah, and you do mention her a lot.
It's Gareth and Laura.
Yeah, we was a bit pushed at the last minute, so Gareth just brought his wife in. And now with the news, Gareth's baby. And then we just go over to the news and it goes. Absolute Radio. That would be Rob. You can't run a station like some sort of corner shop with the family all working there. Rubbish. So anyway, welcome, Laura, to our world.
Thank you.
You have been a guest.
I was a guest a few weeks ago, wasn't I?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we very much recommend you as a not recommend you, but we come to think of you as a friend of the show. Yeah. So it's good to have
As Frank did that, he had a sword that he rested on Laura's shoulders.
Yeah.
As he did that, that's what we do.
Is that her name, Laura Shoulder? Laura Solon. Yeah, Laura Solon obviously is a famous comedian in her own right. Are you a comedian or a comedienne?
I don't like the word comedian.
Oh, God, she started already. I knew she was
I
difficult.
don't like it. I don't know why.
Or do you think of yourself as a comedy actress?
I don't really think... I have to ask
Well, you don't
myself
think
what I
of
actually
yourself.
do. Because it's like what you spend most of your time doing. Is that your job?
Yeah,
And I think I
so.
spend most of my time watching CSI.
Okay.
Is that a job? No. I'm not paid to do it.
I bet it's somebody's job.
It could be my job. I'm really good at it.
Okay. Yeah, well, today I'm giving you a side job.
Yeah,
So
hobby.
We're very,
Unpaid
very,
hobby.
We're very happy to have you. If we're told that it's unpaid, that's good. Then. That's
You've given me
50-50
two
then, Gareth.
cups of tea. That's £3.
Yeah. It is in central London, for those of you listening in the rest of the world who think that's an exaggeration. You wouldn't get 2 cups of tea for £3 in central London.
You get a tea factory outside of London.
Yeah, exactly, a small tea factory. So, we started off, we have a look through the papers in the morning to see if there's anything interesting. And Laura was straight in. I mean, she hit the floor
Well,
running.
it was on the front cover of the paper.
Yeah, that helps. Yeah, did you open any papers?
No.
No, okay.
No,
Well,
I just tend to look at the front.
We'll
That's
have to
all the
talk
news
about
you
your
need.
research skills.
That's
at
where the
some point.
important things are,
Okay.
on the front. And it's a pun. Well, it's not really a pun. It's on the front of the Sun, and there's a picture of Tess Daly in underwear, and it says, "It's strictly tum shrinking."
Yeah. You see, I'm not.
I don't think that should have been on the front.
So it's supposed to be a pun with "It's strictly cum dancing."
Yeah, well,
It's strictly cum.
Strictly Tom, I'm happy with that. So far,
Yeah,
so
that's
good.
pretty good.
But you've got to really rhyme it with
Shrinking.
dancing,
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
or less. And there aren't that many. I mean, Lance. If
Yeah.
only she was having it lanced.
Yeah.
If there was some, if it was an article about
Horrific boils.
that would have been.
Would it be on the front? Would she be in a bra if that was the story?
Oh, I
Should
think
she
so.
be in a bra if that was the story?
Well, I think you want to lighten the load of the pus-filled pustules with a bit of lingerie. That's what I always do, certainly.
Absolute
Radio.
So we were just talking about the pun on the front of this morning's Sun newspaper, which is, what is it again, Laura?
It's strictly tum shrinking.
Yes, and it's a picture of Tess Daly in a bikini, and we thought that we would ask our very, very clever listeners, of which there are many, to come up with a better headline for that picture. So it's Tess Daly in underwear, is
But
that?
she's lost weight after
Yeah.
her baby, and she's now got an underwear job modelling.
Okay,
and
so-
they're trying to make the point that she's lost weight, the baby weight.
Yeah, but yes, and obviously she works on Strictly Come
Yeah.
Dancing with Bruce. So I thought as she's in underwear, it could be Strictly Tom pantsing.
That's
with
better.
pants
That's already
spelt.
better.
Yeah, yeah. Or if you don't like her, some people don't like Ted, it could be Strictly Come Rancid.
That's a bit harsh.
Well, I think she's
If I
attractive.
looked like her before I had a baby, I'd be quite pleased. But she's had a baby and lost all the weight.
No,
She
it's
looks-
I'm
looks pretty
I'm
good.
impressed. Yeah.
How about I've got Tess's jowls?
The problem is she don't really have gels, does she? But I mean,
Jowlless.
it's worth putting it in
Tess's
anyway.
jowls.
I think, yeah. I mean, normally they're very good, the puns in the Sun, but today,
Today, everyone has an off day.
I think this is their weekend.
Yeah,
People
it's
in.
been a long week.
Yeah.
It's the B team.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
A team are on a break somewhere,
Yeah.
getting some winter sun.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's nothing as good as Tessa gels kicking around. Yes.
Gabby's texted in, said if Ray Winston were to appear on the headline, it would be scum dancing. Strictly
Yes.
scum dancing.
Yeah,
That's
but
quite
I think changing the photograph is that's a bit of a cheat. In any
He wouldn't
caption
have-
competition, that's a cheat.
He wouldn't have the lingerie contract though, so it'd be a different kind of story.
he would look
Yeah.
different to
Yeah.
Tess Daly for sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
I think so. I think that's
emphasis.
true. I think, yeah, you never hear anyone say, well, I can't decide who I fancy most, Tess Daly or Ray Winston. No.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio. Absolute Radio.
As always, our magnificent listeners have not let us down. We've had loads of these puns. We're asking people to text on 81215. There's a picture of Tess Daly on the front of the Sun this morning in her underwear, and the headline is Strictly Tom Shrinking, which we just don't think is
Doesn't
good.
work, does
It's
it?
not a good
Doesn't
enough
sound
pun.
At any
anything
level.
like.
So we think that our listeners can improve on that. Have they done so?
Yes. We've got some people haven't put their names. Do put your names on so we can read it out. Strictly bum prancing.
I like that.
Very good one. I think one of my favourites is what about strictly mum fasting?
Much better. The Sun will want everyone's addresses for this.
Be
Could be a
kicking
nice
themselves.
part-time job for somebody.
Laura, have you
We've got two people of Paul from Essex and anonymously have said less Daily, which I thought was
That's
good.
clever. Yeah.
And then someone who hasn't put their name has said Tess of the Girdlevilles, and then put maybe not afterwards. I think maybe yes.
No, I like Tess at the girdle feels, even though there's no girdle. You know what they mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this good Rob Dale has said idea for headline Daily Tum's gone. As in Daily Thompson. Daily Tum's gone.
A pun on Daily Thompson. I mean, that's a dying art. That's like people who who thatch cottage roofs. I mean, there's no Daley Thompson punsters left, hardly. Oh, marvellous. Well, that's completely made my day. But anyway, so those are the ingredients. Tess Daly had a baby, and then she's lost a lot of weight, as celebrities always do after they've had a baby. How do they do it? I just don't know. Or indeed, care. So, and also, speaking of glamorous celebrities, Pamela Anderson. Pamela Anderson, actually, who's also in the... She's in the Sun today, and she's just got like a vest and pants on. And you know when you live in an area and a local middle-aged woman goes mad, and someone says, "Oh God, I saw Mrs. Anderson out today, just in her pants and a vest in the garden." Oh God, did you? That's what it looks like. I mean, she's advertising killing whales or some. Not advertising killing whales. That was obvious. Kill whales, it says, and then there's a phone number where you can go on a holiday.
Seal cups, is it?
No, it's anti-killing.
Sort of breakdown chic is what she's wearing.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, but yeah. So she's in the paper, and I know people really fancy Pamela Anderson and stuff. But I've met her a couple of times, and I interviewed many people in my career when I was a chat show host, and she was about the only one who I really didn't like very much at all. She
wasn't secretly intelligent.
No. If she was very secretly, secretly to the point of, I mean, complete stupidity. No, but she had coldness about her. Oh no, she'll be on Question Time next thing we know.
Well, yeah. She had. There was a story in the paper about her, like, getting her house done up.
Having no money left.
Yeah, she has got no money left because she's had her house done up, and partly it was because she'd had tiling done. And what was the tiles made of?
It was in platinum of her swimming pool, and she said, as if you need to say it, because you know tiling a pool in platinum is very expensive.
Yeah, well, I didn't know that, but I'd have guessed.
I would imagine.
You think that's going to?
But if you were secretly intelligent, you might not.
No, exactly.
Very secretly.
I've never thought about. I don't have a pool for a start off, and if I did, I don't think I'd tile it in platinum. It wouldn't be my first thought.
Absolute
Radio.
So you had a bit of an interesting gig this week, didn't you, Gareth? I feel I'm leading you into this, but I like your gig stories.
It was one of those things where I was supporting an act doing their like an hour show that they did at Edinburgh. And they hadn't told anyone there was going to be a support act, so I was surprised. But the main act was the Scottish falsetto sock puppets, which is...
The Scottish falsetto sock puppet?
Yes. Okay. So it's a guy who goes behind a tartan stage and does a puppet show with two sock puppets.
Oh, so it is what it says on the tin.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is.
Say what you said.
No, it's exactly what it is.
Thank you. We've got Roy Slow Talker Walker. Just say what you see.
And it was that thing that when I came on, people just looked at me and went, "Well, you're not a sock puppet." Either sock puppet...
I noticed that about you when I met you for the first time.
Well, people do.
That was the first thing I thought.
I wouldn't say I noticed it the first time.
After a couple of meetings.
About show 3.
A growing sense of disappointment.
He's not a sock puppet. That must be the drains. Yeah, so they didn't even know there was going to be a support. So people had turned up to... Why are they called falsetto sock puppets? Do they all speak
because they speak like this and this, yeah.
Okay, I see.
Very high voices.
Okay.
And it's very funny. It's a very funny show. But and it was quite... Shut it, Laura. She honestly comes on here and straight away she's mocking my voices.
No, listen. It'd be nice to Laura.
I can't do a Scottish accent either, it's fine.
You know what it's like when you're a new kid at school and all that. I won't have a picture.
I know what it's like when I'm a new kid at school. It's like every day on this radio show.
Well, I have never.
Absolute Radio.
Well, we've had some more. In case you don't know, there was a picture of Tess Daly on the front of the Sun in her underwear, and we weren't happy with the headline, which was strictly
tum shrinking.
Strictly Tom
shrinking. It gets
shrinking.
worse every time.
Yeah, it does. I couldn't believe it. Couldn't be that because it doesn't rhyme. Yeah, strictly Tom shrinking. So we asked people to improve on it, and they have generally.
Yes, Patrick from London, and I think this really is amazing. For those Sun reading Thomas Hardy fanatics.
We should point out, by the way, that the idea is she had a baby and she's lost all that weight.
She's lost weight, yes. Yeah. Thomas Hardy fanatics, Tess off the burger meals.
I mean, that's
That should
absolutely...
win something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Tess
beautiful.
Off the burger meals, and he even put B' burger meals.
Oh, well, I mean...
it's
It's
incredible.
complete. That you
Patrick
can't.
in
I don't think
London.
you can improve on that.
That is really sensational.
It's really good.
See, mine sounds... I thought daily rations would have been...
Daily rations.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I
you
get
looking at me
that
like that
now. Well, it took me
You
a
said
while
that with
to
a bit of
get it.
contempt in your voice.
It's not
Daily
Tess,
rations.
Tess of the
I-
burger
I-
meals, I realise that, but I'm just trying to join in. I mean, just pick on me because you've got a new friend now. See, Emily, she was my rock. She was my...
It
my-
was good. It was
you
a
just
good. It was
asked-
good, but I just think after
It's
Tess
good,
off
but
the
it's not
burger
great.
meal.
That's what you were going to say,
Yeah,
weren't you?
I was actually.
Oh, sorry, you were going
Oh,
to say
no,
that.
I wasn't.
Oh, you were. I thought for one terrible moment I jumped in on your joke. A lot of people are talking about the whole Cheryl Cole, Whitney Houston thing on X. I know not everyone watches X Factor, but even if you don't watch X Factor, you must know about that because Cheryl Cole premiered her new single, which she did. I think she did sing. Did she sing live in the end?
Yeah, she was dressed like a Turkish postman Pat. I thought. Do you know what I
She
mean?
was, yeah.
It was her trousers.
Yeah.
that
Well, you
looked
mean
up
you
at
mean
the
she was
side.
scabbing? She should have been on strike.
And you could see her gusset.
Oh, good. Now, whether you can say gossip on Absolute this time of the month,
a part of tights.
I'm going to look that up. Hold on a minute. We've got the Absolute manual here. You carry on talking. Let me see now.
It's not a rude word.
Okay. No. Okay. No. It's
Only you made it rude.
Yeah, you're right. I did. Yeah, you could. I don't know. I didn't see her gossip
And-
personally. I think that probably because at that point I was only looking through the cracks between my fingers.
Yeah,
at
but
the
I thought it was a
television.
bit sad watching Whitney, because she's a legend of singing, and I thought it looked a bit like she'd been out the night before, fallen asleep in the park,
Yeah.
and they'd woken her up and turned her upside down and used her to rake leaves just before they put her on the stage.
Yeah.
Who,
It's a bit
Whitney?
dishevelled, yeah.
Well, Whitney, to be fair to her, has been a bit knocked about over the years.
Yeah.
I believe.
She's had
so.
a colourful life.
She's sort of been
Yeah.
out for the last 4,000 nights.
Yeah.
That's why
Yeah.
she
What,
looks like
cold
that.
for some of
Yeah.
them. I like the fact she was a bit balmy on it.
Yeah.
I like stars who, like, and he said, "What do you think about what's he called?" Eamon Dunphy said, "Not Eamon Dunphy. What's he called? Seamus O'Leary."
Dermot.
Dermot O'Leary.
Yeah, he
Dermot
said
O'Leary.
Dermot O'Leary. Eamon Dunphy is an Irish
his stage
football writer. He used to play for Millwall, but you know what I mean. He said, "What do you think about the other acts? You know, the acts on the show?" And I thought she'd got notes on the stage. She started really looking at the floor like he told her off.
She didn't look like she knew who she was, let alone whether she
No.
was on a show with other
Oh,
people.
poor Whitney.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Absolute Radio.
So I'll tell you what we were talking about. A friend of mine went for a job interview, and she sat down. You know, people are always a bit nervous at an interview. And the woman said, "Okay, what's your brand?"
Wow.
Now, what do you say to that?
I would.
And you're supposed to have a sentence that sums you up.
Your strap line.
Yeah,
Slogan.
yeah.
And kind of something that communicates your essence.
Who you
in
are.
a
Yes.
very short amount of
And
time.
how people can identify with you on a mass scale.
Yeah, it communicates your human essence, is what it does.
Your soul.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be. I suppose it's supposed to be things like gets things done, with a laugh or something like that.
Just
you know what
do
I mean?
it.
Yeah, just do it. That kind of thing. Yeah. Mine, I was thinking, I would love, in a case like that, because this is a super corporate person, say, "Okay, what's your brand?" I would love to have said, "Leaving a party early, having spoken to no one." And just to see their reaction, because that, in many ways, is my brand. What would your brand be? Do you think it's a tough question? I know.
This is maybe Gareth Richards.
Yeah, no, you see what you've done there?
No,
That's your
Is
name.
you've mistaken,
That's your name.
Yeah, you've mistaken the word name with the word brand. Speaking of names, we've got Andy Parsons coming in soon, which is exciting. So, yeah, you need... It needs
Gareth
to,
Richards, late for work.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, that'd be good.
That'll do it.
Gareth
I like that
Richards.
as well, because it has got a sort of spiritual expand.
Yeah.
In a way, you are in many ways late for work, if you know what I mean.
Gareth Richards, what he'll be like, where he'll be in 5 years now.
Hold on a minute, I'm going to help you with that.
Well, that just sounds like one psychopath.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
well,
killed something.
To me, I take my laughter where I can get it. So yeah, so and that, In fact, they do a similar thing on Absolute Radio with you have to, they have a thing what they call liners. I don't know if you've ever heard these adverts on the radio, but it's that bloke who used to be in Garth Marenghi's Dark Place.
Matt something.
Yeah, and
Buried.
so he says sort of Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio, and then he says something that's supposed to it says things like, it doesn't get any better than this. It's that kind of thing. So I thought it could be Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio. The sound of laughter seeping from a small sailing boat as it heads towards the unforgiving waterfall.
That's quite poetic.
What do you think?
Nice. Yeah.
I think it seems to sum up the show.
Okay, well, we had a thing before. I thought Frank's going to show a brief period of mourning.
So that would be good. Morning. Yeah, it
It's
is.
a pun.
It's very clever.
Absolute
Radio.
Andy Parsons is in the studio. So, hey. Thanks for looking up. Sorry, we never do the whoop thing.
No, well, I wasn't sure whether I was allowed to speak then, because you said I was in the studio, but you didn't necessarily say that, you know...
No, hold on. I'm not happy with that. Here we go.
No. Are you happy with that now? Is that...
Andy Parsons has arrived. So,
I've got my headphones on now, I could actually hear what that was.
yeah.
Yeah.
Headphones are much easier without hair, aren't they?
Well, in some ways, but I'm never sure whether to have them both on like that, or
Yeah.
whether just have one off, and slightly askance.
Yeah, you've gone a bit DLT 1969, you've gone with yours.
I don't remember what he looked like.
No, well, he always used to have like one. I think
One
he
on
had,
off.
he had one on and one off, so he could.
Maybe he had one really big ear and he just couldn't get it over.
or some sort of terrible sore on that one. that
Yeah.
he couldn't. Yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Is that why he's not DJing anymore?
I think no, it's the whole side of his head has gone. The side of his head just looks like a squashed raspberry. Anyway, Andy, you're on tour. Are you on tour at the moment?
I am, no, I've been, on and off. There was a little break for Mock the Week in the middle, and then back on for about another 3 weeks. So it's been most of the year, going around.
So are you somewhere tonight?
I am at Joys of Swansea tonight, so
Okay, so off to Swansea after this.
Heading down the M4, that's it.
So if you want to see, is there any tickets left tonight, do you know?
I think... we're full, I know that much, but I think there might be...
But there's always nothing
the odd
ever
one.
sells out, is there? There's always like 3 singles
Well,
left.
I think also because, as I'm sure your management do, they save a few for themselves because they always think that 10 might want to come from management to Swansea,
Yeah.
and nobody ever does. So
No.
there's always the odd one available.
Yeah, exactly. I always say, I don't have that many friends, but they keep like 10 tickets back. It's
They
crazy.
suddenly think that maybe some Hollywood producer is going to turn up in Swansea and going to go, I need 10 tickets tonight, and then if there's none left, it'll be the one opportunity you had.
Yeah, honestly, if that happened, I'd be prepared to assassinate 10 men still
That's it.
to get him in with his entourage.
You could just chuck them out.
Well, no, well,
I'm just saying,
but-
because
I have to kill
yeah,
them.
but
if I'm
I don't
in
want
those
people
seats-
bad-mouthing me afterwards.
You could just sit him by the side of the stage afterwards, though, couldn't you?
Oh, you and your liberal attitudes, you lot. Let's just get rid of them people. They're standing between me and a Hollywood film career, and I'm supposed to be sympathetic.
How would you decide, though, which 10 to do?
Well, I'd ask him to pick any place in the
best
auditorium he
seats.
wanted. Yeah,
10 best
exactly.
seats.
Yeah, I'd ask him where he wanted to sit, and then it's just popped
And
off.
if he then said, what happened to those 10, Frank? What would you...
He'd be
As
impressed.
you wipe the blood off your shirt.
Oh, well, I wouldn't do it myself.
Take me to those 10 people. I want to thank them personally for letting me have their seats. Where are they, Frank? I want to go and talk to those 10.
Well, did you see those bin liners by the door as you came in? God damn it! You British make me laugh. That's what it would be like. Anyway, this is a fancy. It's all going well, the tour, and let's get all the plug-in in. You've got a DVD.
Got it early, and then we can just do whatever.
Then we can talk like human beings
Yeah,
about things.
yeah.
So you've got a DVD coming out.
That's it. That's that done. So
Well, tell,
let's
us
move on.
tell us about it, or your management will say, "Well, Andy, you should have at least said what it was
Yeah,
called."
he's turned up and he's done nothing. All
Yeah.
he did, he shot 10 members of his own audience.
No, that was me.
I believe it comes out towards the end of November. It's
Okay.
called Britain's Got Idiots.
Right,
and
and
it's
it-
my first one, and so relatively exciting from that point of view.
Yeah, and it's you doing stand-up.
Yeah,
Obviously.
we did
Okay.
it at the Lyric on Shaftesbury Avenue a couple of weeks ago. Very enjoyable.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio. Absolute Radio.
Andy Parsons is with us in the studio. This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio with Gareth and with Laura Solon. We've got all sorts of people in today. In fact, Kathy, my girlfriend, her mum is in today
Yeah.
as well. Sandy Mason. Hello, Sandy. Hello. Yeah, she's in. would you bring her and just sit her in the
Well,
corner?
it's quite interesting because when you're actually listening to the show before you actually come in, you can hear more than just Laura with a female laugh. There's like various other female laughs going on. And you're
In
not quite
stereo.
Sure. Well, that's it. Well, you're not sure whether Laura's running around the studio having a little laugh at different points.
Yeah, well, we did ask. That was
I
one
got
of the
tired, so
conditions.
they brought in.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so Sandy come. Sandy, not so much a laugh as a sort of witch-like cackle, I think, which we think's good in the mix in the
Yeah,
laughing.
early Halloween stuff.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. We're just warming them up. Are you a sort of man who does anything for Halloween?
No.
Good. So, so Mock the Week must have changed your life, Andy, because it's been like the biggest comedy hit. It's massive, isn't
Well,
it?
it was a slow burner, wasn't it? The first two series were pretty much under the radar, and then the personnel changed a little bit, and for whatever reason, it seems to have. It's got 7 series under its belt so far.
Yeah. And there's 2 more to come, at least, aren't there?
They've nailed down 2 for next year,
Yeah.
so there'll be at least, I think, 21 weeks of Mock the Week next year.
Next week, that's overkill, surely.
There's only so much topical stuff you can do, isn't there?
Exactly.
There's only so many
Very
summer
minor
headlines.
stories. Just
I
be stories about
wish.
your day.
I wish they'd make
Look at
the
the crossword.
Yeah, exactly.
The weather. Yeah.
And now, it's Mock the Week. 20th episode of the week.
It's a really mockable week this week. It really is a lot
That's
of
what you
mock.
do.
You'd still be on the side trying to get to the microphone, doing the jokes that you wanted to do 19 weeks previously.
You'd be doing jokes about Nick Griffin's distant relatives from a family tree. You'd have done Nick Griffin day 3. But it's a massive hit.
It is. Yeah, no, and you popped in.
I did pop in, yeah. Did you? I did it once, yeah. Some people have done it like 20 times and stuff.
I remember you describing it to me afterwards as like being in a nuclear winter, not wearing a cardigan.
It was, it's an interesting thing
How
because
does the
it's-
cardigan protect you from radiation?
Well, you haven't seen my cardigan.
Oh, right.
It's lead. My lead cardigan. Remember that song I brought out in the 80s about it? No, okay. It causes me havoc at airports, I'll be honest with you, if I travel in the winter.
Absolute Radio.
So Andy Parsons is with us here today. Andy, who is on tour at the moment, is in Swansea tonight. And
Then next week heading off to Telford and then Southport. Oh, I mean, there's a lot of good stuff out there. And then finish up Croydon.
Look, don't start. These people are paying your wages, Andy.
They
Parsons.
might have come from outside of Croydon to come into Croydon, though, mightn't they?
I went all the way to Croydon to see Petula Clark once at
Yeah.
Fairfield Halls.
And had you slagged off her or Croydon beforehand?
God, goodness, slagged off Petula Clark. Are you out of your mind? Downtown. Oh no, I love Petula
I didn't
Clark.
realise I'd set you up there for a little sing.
Exactly. And the DVD, I just want to emphasise, it's going to be out for Christmas. It's sort of end of November.
That's the only way to do it, apparently. You've either, somewhere in the middle of November, bring it out for the Christmas market, and then obviously there's a glut of them come January.
Yes, you see, why don't people bring them out in, like, July? It's not like people go off comedy in the summer, is it?
I suppose they're still available in July, aren't they?
Yeah, but I mean, wouldn't it be great if you launch yours after everyone else's has been launched? It'd just be yours to buy.
And then they'd sell even less because they weren't available for the Christmas market.
Yeah, but no, but
There's
I
a
don't.
downside to that plan.
Yeah, I don't even buy Christmas presents anymore.
But, I mean, you know, is that saying something about you? Most people do.
No, I'm supporting the postal workers. I'm not sending any cards or any presents.
Is that really supporting them, though? 'Cause surely they're paid by the wages of you sending post.
Well, yeah, but they're on strike.
Yeah, no, but when obviously, you know, they need to get paid at some
Andy's
point.
got a bit social. What can I do? It's got political on us.
Well, you told me it was my last section. I thought
Are you going to do a speech? Okay.
workers.
Yeah, the workers will be at work. It's no good talking to them now. It's 20 to 10 on a Saturday. Oh, actually, they might have the weekend off. Certainly the postal strike as well. I think they're working today,
Well,
aren't they?
they go back to work today to find they've got 30 million extra letters they've got to do something with, and they're overworked as it is. It's no. Oh, anyway, let's not dwell on it.
I think, no, exactly, you're quite right. Let's look on the brighter side of life. So, mock of the week.
Mock of the week.
Mock of the week is...
Because people always like to throw in that extra.
Yes.
The Mexican version of Mock the Week that is
No,
coming out
it's the
soon.
new coffee sponsored. Yeah. That comes back in January.
Comes back in January and February
And
21 times a week.
And no Frankie Boyle this time.
So supposedly not. No. I mean,
Supposedly not. So is there a chance he might come back after all?
When I was talking to him, he was definitely, there was a chance he might come back for the odd one. He didn't want to rule himself out completely. But,
I see.
I believe he's booked in for a bit of holiday come January, and he won't be doing those. No.
Will you miss him, do you think?
I'll miss him. Yeah, no. I always used to, like looking over to him and, knowing that he was about to do some stuff that could never go out, that the producer was about to be furious about, that it was wasting 5 minutes of time, and was about to really stink out the studio really badly for about 10
if
minutes.
only on this show we could offer an example of that, but we can't. We just can't. But yes, he was like having a small grenade in the corner of the studio.
That's it. No, just this bleakness would just come over, and there'll be that chill for a moment, wouldn't there? And then, Russell would come back with a little bit of cuddly warmth, and we'd be all okay again.
Yeah, I think that's a fair summary. So, do you enjoy doing it? Because
No. 3 hours, it's just, you just grind it out. I mean, most half-an-hour shows, you do them in maybe an hour, maybe an hour and a quarter. We're there for 3 hours, as you well know, and it's a long, long 3 hours.
It is a little bit. It's the closest I'll ever get to having fought on the Somme. Yeah, because there's so many comedians there, all trying to get their...
Well, that's it. Well, here you've got 4, Rand, but at least you've got your own microphone. So,
Yeah.
You have to race to it. I always think, why can't they just take it in turns? Why do you have to race each other?
Believe you me,
to
every series I make that suggestion. Could we not have a little light come up, and when your light's up, you walk to the microphone? But they're not keen on that. They like a bit of fighting.
See, I find it unnerving when you watch it on the telly and somebody goes to step forward and then someone
it's
they have to
awkward.
go. They have to go back to their plinth.
Well, that's it. And we've had people trip up and all the rest of it. And you think, no, no, it's health and safety.
And then if you rush to get there and forget what you were going to say.
Well,
I mean,
yeah. And then sometimes they put out the bit where you actually rushed up, forgot what you were saying because it was funnier than what you actually did say, and then that never looks good, does it?
No.
That's always embarrassing.
Well, you've sold it very well for anyone who's thinking of taking over from Frankie Boyle.
Well, what I'm looking forward to is, though, that maybe Frankie has a sort of career change. Maybe in 6 months' time we see him on the front cover of The Sun, having lost a bit of weight,
Now, what would
in
that...
some new underwear that he's trying to model.
Yes. But what would the headline be, of course? That's what we all want to know. Ooh.
What I enjoyed about the headline was, does it not say on the top of The Sun, does it not say, The Sun, Britain's most popular daily? Now, surely when you were looking at that, you could have come up with something like The Tum, Britain's other most popular daily.
Oh, well, you see, but you're a pro, Andy.
But you're thinking that they've got it straight in front of them, and the best they could do, Tum shrinking.
Yeah, they need you on speed dial 1.
But all the things the Sun have been criticised for over the years, it's their punning that's got a real good cane in today on this show. And that's because I expect that to be good. Usually they're brilliant, the punning headline.
They've even missed out on Vernon Hooray, which you'd have thought, would have been, he must have been celebrating those pictures, mustn't he?
You're on a roll.
Absolute
Radio.
Now, we've had some contact from our poddies. When I say our poddies, we get people who never listen to this show on a Saturday morning. I imagine that they've been drunk the night before, and then so they listen to it on the podcast. And one thing that we get is people saying, "Well, we can't join in. We want some interactivity." I could say get up early, but I thought no. So we do these things we're talking about earlier on the show, where Matt Berry says,
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio. It's like an angel describing the death of Gandhi.
or something that sums up the show, what the show's about.
The essence of the brand of the show.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the brand?
Yeah, exactly. So it's something that sums up the show. So what we'd like is people to email us, because we're fed up of trying to think of them. So they're things that sort of give the essential essence, our brand, if you like, what says what you think of the show. Now, I know I'm giving you license to say things like,
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio. It's the worst thing that's ever happened.
or something like that. But you can do those. We'll just ignore them. If they make you feel better, I don't care. But if you do a good one, we'll use it on the air, and then we'll give you a kiss. That's about it for this week. Laura, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. I've enjoyed myself very much.
I was hoping
But I hope
we'd
Emily
keep that
gets
bit
better
quiet.
soon.
Yes. Do you really?
She's a lovely girl, yes.
Yeah, does that mean you don't want to come back under any circumstances?
No, I do, but I don't want it to be at her illness.
No.
Because of her illness.
Well, that's what footballers say when players get injured, and you never believe it. No, but we all wish Emily the very, very best, and please get well soon. But don't phone me up about the show, because I just got to hold the phone and hear What's the point in that? So, yeah, that's it. Thank you very much, Laura Gareth, as always. Thanks, Sandy Mason, for coming in, my girlfriend's mum who's in the corner. Thank you, Sandy. Bit of a feeble.
She's gone to sleep.
Yeah, exactly. She does fall asleep a lot. It's a bit like having a nice old cat. Good day to you.